What's going on, everybody? This is Shamarcus, and this is Shamarcus Talks. And on this episode podcast, we're going to talk about how time flies and the things that we just don't notice. So, just the other day, I was thinking, man, how time flies. And a lot of people actually say that, but they don't actually look at it. The reason why I said that is because just 6 years ago, I had my son. And just thinking about it now, it seems like it was just yesterday. I remember him being a baby. I remember like his first steps. I remember all of these things that now seem like, man, that was just 6 years ago. That man, time flies, and everybody, no matter who you are, have all said the same thing. And you can look back on anything and say, like, I'll give you an example. Think back to a year from now. I mean, not a year from now. Think back a year from now. Like last year, what were you doing? Just think about it. What were you doing? What thing were you thinking about that was also needs to happen right then? And I'm thinking back a year last year, a year prior. That's what I should have said. A year prior, and one thing that comes to mind was I was doing something and uh, I lost some money. It was it's some nice money, and then I thought, oh my God, this is the end. All be all. The world is ending. Everything like that. And now, fast forward a year, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. Like I didn't die from it. I lost some money, but like now I'm like that same amount of money. Like it's not that much anymore. All because of time. And time is something that you can't get back. And no matter who you are, that's one thing. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care about nothing. Time is something you cannot get back. And I'm learning that. And I really am. I'm learning that. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to get better at that. But going thinking about just like what I just asked you, like what was something that was so big at that particular point in time a year ago that now you can look back and be like, oh, that really wasn't that big, or man, it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Because sometimes you can actually think something way worse than what's really going to happen. And I must admit I've done it. Uh, I've had those things happen to the point that, oh my God, I'm thinking, oh, the worst case scenario in this situation, and it never happened. Never happened. Not even got close to that. But at that particular point in time, it was that's what that was. That was my mindset at that particular point in time. And like I'm just learning that time is something that you can really take for granted. Thinking about it right now, it's crazy because, well, not crazy. I gotta stop saying it's crazy, but it's different thinking like a year from now. So next year, around this time, I'm going to be looking at all the things that I'm doing now. And when I'm there, going to be like, man, either I should have did this or I shouldn't have did that, or just stuff like that, or this wasn't that big or that was that big. You know what I mean? Like it's strange how you never notice. Well, I don't know about you, but I you never notice how much time really flies until you actually sit back and think about it. Like I said, my son is 6, and I remember like it was yesterday. All these things. I'll give you an example. When I first started this journey, that's almost been a year ago. Yeah, almost been a year ago. If you would have asked me then, hey, Shamarcus, what do you see yourself in a year from now? I'll be like, I don't know. Or, hey, Shamarcus, do you see yourself doing a podcast? No. That would be my friend. No, not at all. Do you see yourself talking to people? Well, yeah, I see myself talking to people, but I wouldn't have saw all the things that I'm doing now. You have to value this time that we have, and that's one of the things that again I'm learning to get, but it's one of the things that a lot of people really take for granted. And just to think that a year prior or a year from now, it's you're going to have a totally different outlook on whatever it is that you're going through right now. No matter what it is, no matter whether it's good or whether it's bad. Just remember that time is one thing that you can't get back. So value all the time that you have, value all the things that you're doing because you can look up and it'll be like 3 years from now. And if it's something that you really want to do, I'm talking to you, but I'm actually talking to myself. I tell people that all the time whenever I'm speaking to them or something like that. I'm like, hey, I'm talking to you, but I'm really talking to myself because sometimes that's what it is. I'm telling people, but I'm actually talking to myself. So if it's something that you really want to do, and it's something that you're on the fence about, and you're like, man, should I do this? Should I not do this? Just sit back and think. A year from now, not 10 years. It's a year from now. If you start on whatever journey that you feel like you want to do, if you start on it right now, um, how would that look? And then if that's something that you really want to do, just start. And I guarantee you, all because where I'm at now and the things that I'm looking at, the things that I'm doing, I'm a firm believer. Like if you start right now and you go that year going hard on whatever it is that you want to do, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be amazed. And you're gonna be like, wow, I had some hard times, I had some good times, but so if that's something you want to do, please, please, please go for that. Do whatever it is that you want to do because, again, time is something you cannot get back, and you're going to be looking back and being like, "Man, I wish I had a did this," or "Man, I wish I had a did that." Just go for it. Just don't worry about whatever is going to happen because everything's going to happen just how it needs to happen. So I want y'all to have a good one. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to y'all on the next time. Peace.